Well, right now there is a great need locally for services to help provide home care for children and adults with special needs. And we're going to hear from one of those services and how they're hoping to hire more people to deal with a growing list of clients. Joining us, Stephanie Jackson, the owner and founder of AAA Care, to answer some of those questions and to help you understand what's going on locally. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
First of all, I know that's your 20th anniversary today in this field, doing this. So obviously you've got a lot of expertise in this. So congrats on that. Talk about, the new year, an increase in the local demand for home care for adults and kids. What are some of the local reasons driving this?
Well, a lot of the families are not well known about it. Their doctors, word of mouth, their pediatrician, it just depends. They're hearing it from word of mouth and they're needing the services. So, hey, the demand is real. It's always been high, but it's higher now with the COVID and so forth. So yeah, it's always been a high need.
It's almost as if, that there's just a lot of families that are overwhelmed. They have their own families and then sometimes having to care for someone else too.
Yes.
So then that's when they turn to services like yours, right?
Correct.
So talk about specifically what you provide for families when you're in a situation where you need that extra assistance to help with an adult or a child with special needs. How are you helping them?
What happens is they go through a interview with the Department of Health and Hospitals, an assessment, and they have a provider list or a freedom of choice list. And off of that freedom of choice, we're listed there, and it tells them, they do the assessment and they tell us exactly how many hours they're approved for and what needs to be done while our staff is in the home.
And for someone who's curious as to what you provide in the home, how do you help them? What do you do? What do your workers do?
All activities of daily living: bathing, feeding, dressing, going to the doctor, going to therapy, anything that's listed on their comprehensive plan of care. So basically all activities of daily living.
Yeah, and that's a huge help, especially if you're caring for someone and you also have your own kids or other things that you're dealing with on a daily basis.
Yes.
But the challenge right now, you're finding, so many other employers are finding it, you can't find people. Like how tough is it right now?
It's very tough. We lost a lot of employees due to the pandemic, and we're trying to schedule an open house where we can get more employees to get hired, because the need is there, but we also have a severe need of workers.
Yeah, and people who may be interested in this, whether it's a full-time or part-time basis, give them a sort of scenario they'd be facing, the hours, the pay, like what are they getting into with this?
The hours is going to depend on their plan. Like they may say she has 56 hours a week. The worker would work 56 hours a week. The pay is $9, between $9 and $13.50 is the pay rate. The benefits are we assist with Ubers to getting to work for those who are having transportation issues. We give stipends for people who work extra or who's burnt out but still are willing to go into work. So it's different categories of benefits and funding.
Right. So you need workers, and clearly your service is much needed locally because many families need help caring for adults and children with special needs. So where should people go if they need your service, or if they're inquiring to try to find out when you're going to be hiring, how to get hired? Is there an online place for them to go to?
They can call 504-482-1700.
Say that number again.
504-482-1700.
Okay. Well, good luck with that. Clearly,
thank you.
Companies like yours provide a huge service in our community for so many families, and hopefully you get some more workers to get that done.
Yes, thank you.
Happy New Year. Okay, so Northern